All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the very first podcast of the Fenner Brothers. It is called The Rivalry with Sean and Mike, and me and Mikey are obviously your hosts. So today we are going to be previewing the Browns versus Raiders game at Cleveland on Sunday. You know what time the game is?
1 o'clock.
All right, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right, so here we're going to start off with the overview of the game, starting with injuries. Austin Hooper, the Browns tight end, is out. So is offensive guard Wyatt Teller, rookie linebacker Jacob Phillips, Nick Chubb obviously, and obviously Odell Beckham Jr. For the Raiders, Brian Edwards is questionable and Arden Key is doubtful. After the injuries, now we are going to get into the two quarterbacks who will be facing off each other. Baker Mayfield and Derek Carr. Derek Carr is 1-0 against Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield is obviously 0-1 against the Raiders. But that's when they were in Oakland, so not that location really matters, but just a little side note.
I think it actually plays into a role because if you think, although Cleveland is allowing 12,000 fans into Cleveland Stadium, I don't believe that it'll really make a difference. I think honestly it's an even playing field because if you look at the Browns, although they are 5-2, I mean at Pittsburgh they looked like a shell of themselves. They didn't look like they even knew what they were doing, honestly. And obviously Pittsburgh is 6-0, and they're playing really good football. But
not to mention that they also got whooped by the Ravens in Week 1.
Yeah, and but let's be honest. Everybody thought that they were probably going to lose. Maybe not in that fashion, but if you were just looking back on last year, I mean the Ravens, they just looked head and shoulders above the Browns, and in my opinion, the best in the AFC North. But anyway, back to my original point. I think when it was at Oakland, the Browns did play very well, but that was also back in Baker's rookie season. I believe it was 45-42. Oakland won in overtime.
I also believe that was Week 4, so that would be Baker's first starting game. It was a week after Thursday
I think
night
so too, and also there was Chubb's
like
breakout game as well. I think he had two long
carries, I believe, for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right, so who do you think is going to have the bigger game, Derek Carr or Baker Mayfield right now?
In my opinion, I think Derek Carr will have the bigger game, but I don't think that means that Baker doesn't play well. I honestly think that Cleveland, as usual, will use their run game, especially at home. Control the ball, keep it away from the Raiders, because the Raiders could put up a lot of points. I mean, although they got blown off the field by a very good Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they also ended up winning against Kansas City at Kansas City. So they could score at the best of them, so we just got to be careful to try not to get into a shootout, because that also means that our defense is not playing too well. And they are one of the best in the league in takeaways. So I believe that if Cleveland, if their defense steps up and Baker plays decent to very good, I think we'll win this game.
Well, their team also doesn't just lead in takeaways. They also lead in points off of turnovers.
That's correct.
In total, their takeaways are the Browns have 14, and they have 7 interceptions and 7 forced fumbles or fumble recoveries, whatever you want to call it.
And who do you think is the key to the Browns' defense success?
The key to the Browns, obviously, is Myles Garrett. I mean, as long as he has at least one strip sack this game, I think that'll make the difference, because if you look at Derek Carr, he only has 2 interceptions on the whole season. I mean, he's not a big risk taker, I will say that, but I
agree.
He will throw it on the field. I mean, one thing that the Browns do have to watch out for is their pass defense is pretty bad. Like, let's be honest. Like, I know they lead the league in takeaways and everything, but they were against bad teams. I mean, Dwayne Haskins isn't very good. I mean, yeah, they picked off Dak Prescott. I mean, they had like almost four dropped interceptions against Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that's another thing is the Browns have not. If you look at every one of their games, it seems like early in the game and late in the game, they always drop an interception. Now, I get you're a defensive back for a reason, but there's no reason. It's not like you've never touched a football in your life. You should be able to catch the damn ball.
I think the one thing that the Browns do need to watch out for is actually Nelson Aguilar. Now, I know he's like a big internet meme. I mean, everyone used to call him Butterfingers when he was on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
But if you look at his stats, and his stats aren't very good. I mean, he averages like 3 to 5 catches a game. But if you watch the games, a lot of those catches are like 20, 30-yard touchdown bombs from Derek Carr. Like, it's not like he's catching 4-yard slants like Michael Thomas does all the time. Not that those are easy, but you get my point. Derek Carr is probably going to have to basically have to survive because let's be honest right now. Josh Jacobs he's not going to be able to do anything in this game. The O-line for the Raiders, they're number 27 in run blocking and they're number 13 in pass protection. And that's pretty bad. I mean, for how good Josh Jacobs is, I mean, he's not going to be able to do anything if he's not getting anyone to block for him. I mean,
I agree, but he's also good coming out of the backfield. So, but I mean, the Raiders don't really seem to utilize their running game like that. They're very run. They seem to take a lot of or try to get a lot of big plays. If you watch them, Derek Carr's always throwing, trying to go over the top, which is a big thing, especially against the Browns. Like you said, their pass defense sucks. But if they could hold it for long enough, like they have, Myles Garrett and anybody else will get to Derek Carr.
Yeah, but the one thing that the Browns have to watch out is also Darren Waller because, I mean, that dude's like 6'3", like 230, and I don't think any of the Browns defensive backs can guard them. I know Denzel Ward's good, but 6'3" compared to like 5'10" is a major difference.
Well, if you look at it, though, although I think Denzel Ward is overrated, I think he's been playing really well this season. I think he's overrated as far as just the hype around him. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like he's overrated. He is very good, though. Don't get me wrong.
I don't see your point at all on that. I mean, he's ranked as one of the top cornerbacks in the league, and I know they haven't played like insane.
I know, but how do you really?
But it's him. It's him. If you notice, when the Browns give up big plays, it's not really ever him. It's mostly.
I agree with that.
Mostly the two safeties or Terrence Mitchell who give up the big plays. And they also don't have a great linebacking core because Mac Wilson obviously isn't playing well because he just got back a few games ago from I can't remember. I think he tore almost his ACL in like training camp or something. I don't remember what he tore, but he had to have knee surgery. No, he hyperflexed his knee. And then Sione Takitaki, I mean, he's not really anything to write home about. Let's be honest right now. All right. So in my opinion, this may be your opinion, obviously, but this is definitely a more crucial win for the Raiders. They have their 3 next division opponents in a row: the LA Chargers, Denver Broncos, and Kansas City, obviously. But then they also have the Falcons and the Jets, who are basically like a high school team. I mean, Adam Gase just needs to get the hell out of there. I mean, that dude's trash. When he got hired by the Dolphins, they wanted to capture some of the magic and help the Bears go 6-10 that year, which was the same record as the Miami Dolphins the same year. So obviously, Adam Gase isn't the brightest mind. Yeah, he doesn't have the best weapons, but that dude's kind of, dumb.
Wait, so how could you say that it's his fault if they don't have the best weapons? You're being hypocritical.
Because he's never done good as a head coach. Ever. On all the years he's been a head coach, that dude's been mediocre. My ass would be better at coaching a damn team than that kid. I could probably be a better coach than him right now, and I have no experience coaching at all.
Well, I disagree that it's a more crucial win for the Raiders. Because if you think about it, the Browns are basically competing with either the Ravens, or the Steelers for the wild card.
Yeah, but
look
who the Browns face next. They face Houston, Philadelphia, Jacksonville, Tennessee, the Ravens again, Giants, Jets, and Pittsburgh again.
But even though they have an easier schedule, that doesn't mean that you can't. It's not a must win.
Yeah,
because the Browns do need to win. If they win, they'll be 6-2, right? So, also another problem is they're gonna have to win the division games, the rest of them out, in my opinion.
Yeah, they have to because then it'll be an even split between each team.
Yes.
Now we're getting into the topic: how much will Odell be missed this game? In my opinion, not very much. As good as he is, the Raiders have a terrible defense. They allow 403 yards per game. They allow 283 yards passing, which is barely better than the Browns. And they also only have 3 takeaways in the entire league. They're tied for last with just 3 interceptions, which are their takeaways, with Dallas. So they can't really take the ball away from you. Their rushing defense, they allow over 119 yards a game. And the Browns are gonna run on you. And I can promise you that. They will run on you easily if you play like that. They only have, I think his name's like Max or Mason Crosby. I think it's Max. I don't remember which one is Max or Mason Crosby, which is basically their only real star on defense right now. Their defense is the number 26th rank in the league. The Browns are the number 21 rank, and I can guarantee you right now, if they didn't play the teams that they've played, that they've beaten, they probably wouldn't have that many takeaways.
I think Odell will be missed. I think just his presence alone gives us value. Because if you're the other team, you're thinking, see, from a fan's perspective, you're like, oh, Odell only caught 3 balls for 47 yards, right?
But those are big plays that he catches.
Right. But you're also not looking at, from a fan's perspective, you're not looking at that. You just look at the numbers. If you don't watch the game, you're not going to know what's going on. So if you, like I was saying earlier, your number one receiver, it is harder to get the ball to your number one receiver. So that's why everyone else is like Njoku, Harrison Bryant, Austin Hooper, Jarvis Landry, all those guys, they all contribute more into the offense because Odell is going to be double teamed. They're not going to let him go up the field one-on-one. And I honestly think that
they have.
But I think that the Browns have got to use, when Odell does come back, if he comes back the rest of the season, in my opinion, or Peoples-Jones. Now, they do need to get another wide receiver. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they need to, because
I don't think
if Odell is out for the rest of the year, we need someone else.
you need another
You
wide
can't
receiver?
have no, not a number one. You need
I said
another.
I'm saying you want another
because we have
receiver?
3 healthy receivers.
But you know what the thing is that they have Rashard Higgins, who if you look at Rashard Higgins' stats, he does not look like a good player. But when he steps on the field,
underrated,
he is
though.
damn good. When he was a free agent, many teams wanted him, but he's pretty sure he was like one of the first free agents to re-sign with the Browns since they came back.
Yeah.
No, first free agent wide receiver, I believe. But when that dude gets the ball, he can get it.
But I do think
he needs to be playing more. I think this game will show.
I think Odell will be missed, though. I
Yeah.
just don't think that it'll determine a win or loss.
Yeah, but you need to also think, for Rashard Higgins and Donovan Peoples-Jones, this is another opportunity to show, hey, put me on the damn field. Rashard Higgins has shown time and time again that when they don't have, a number one option, really. I mean, like when the Browns were 7-8-1, Rashard Higgins did play very well when he got a chance to step on the field.
He did,
and
yeah.
he's never really gotten the chance. And I can guarantee you, if you put him as a number one option on another team, he will shine. And I'm being serious when I say he will make teams pay if he actually got the ball more often and played more often.
I agree. Yeah.
All right, who do you think is going to be? Who is at least your X factor for both teams in this game? Really,
X factor for the Raiders. My opinion, Josh Jacobs, because if they could get the run game going, I'm going to be very worried because Cleveland has a pretty good, they're not a really good rush defense, but they're good enough where Josh Jacobs should not be getting more than 100 yards in this game.
no, because if they can also run on them, that's going to tire them out. Also, on top of the fact that their pass defense is terrible.
That's
so
what I'm saying, though, because Derek Carr,
he's not
although he's not the best, he is very. He'll go on a hot streak, and you better watch out because they'll put up 50 points against you.
But I know at least one time this game, because it's happened pretty much every game, I know Myles Garrett will get to him and take the ball from him.
Yeah.
He could literally walk up to you, grab with one hand, and rip it out of your ass. He could easily just take it from you. He doesn't care.
So I think.
And when he does sack the quarterback, he doesn't just he doesn't just fall on him, And I can see why players do that because
I'm surprised.
Pass interference is BS.
Now that you say that, roughing the passer.
But
I am actually surprised that he's not gotten really any this year.
Yeah, because I remember last year,
But that was all teams around the league. Everybody, you fucking fart on the guy, and he fucking gets roughing the passer.
Yeah, but you also I don't think it was against the Jets, because if it was against the Jets, it's kind of a premature stat. But last year, he led the league in sacks, like he is again this year, which I think he will win Defensive Player of the Year, which I think the runner-up will be probably J.J. Watt, not J.J. T.J. He was also flagged the most last year, and it's strange because this year it seemed like they're not calling roughing the passer as much, which is nice because they make it seem like quarterbacks are these delicate little damn tissues.
But I think for the Browns, I think it's got to be everybody's. I think it's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, he doesn't need to be great. He just can't. He doesn't need to turn the ball over. And in my opinion, I think Kevin Stefanski will make sure that we're going to run the ball, and we're going to run the ball, and we're going to run the ball again.
I think the X factor for the Browns, as much as Baker Mayfield is crucial in this game, I think it's going to be Myles Garrett again. He's going to come up with, I think, based on the Raiders' pass protection right now, I think that Myles Garrett can probably have at least 3 or 4 sacks this game, which is a lot, but they do not have someone.
It's a lot, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
There's not really any offensive tackle in the league that can really guard him.
There isn't any. You know who can guard him? Is the guard in the tackle.
Yeah, but
that's it.
I think the only
and even then he'll still find a way.
If he was to play tackle, Quentin Nelson, I think he would actually do a pretty good job. Quentin Nelson is pretty obviously is the best.
No, I'm not going to argue that, but when you have a dominant pass rusher, you throw whatever you want.
Yeah, and the reason Myles Garrett doesn't have 30 sacks already is because he gets double teamed every time.
Yeah,
which I think
I do like when
I think they'll trade also Olivier Vernon because that dude literally looks lazy as hell whenever he lines up. I mean, he's basically squatting and take a shit half the time. And they also have Larry Ogunjobi, who's really good.
I think he's very underrated.
Oh yeah, he is. My X factor for the Raiders has to be Derek Carr. He cannot give the ball away because I don't think you're gonna run on them at all. There's just no chance. They don't have a backup running back because Josh Jacobs. If you keep trying to run the ball with him, that dude's going to get tired. And yeah, he can catch balls out of the backfield, but that dude's going to be just exhausted after that game if they keep running with him. Derek Carr has to basically almost play perfect to win this game. All right, now let's get into predictions. What do you think the score will be?
My prediction is, I think just like most games, I think the Browns will put 30-plus points. I'm guessing 35-21 Browns.
I'm predicting that the Browns will win 35-30. I think it'll be a high-scoring game because if Derek Carr plays how he's been playing by just being consistent and not really making any mistakes, I think he will keep it close, but I think the Browns will win. All right, so thanks for listening, obviously, those of you who listen. So this will be the first of many, many podcasts that we're going to be doing. We will do it on different teams if you would like us to. It would be easier for me, obviously, because I look at football more than my brother does. But, yeah, if you want us to do more teams, we obviously will. But we're primarily going to target Cleveland. We'll probably do some Pittsburgh ones because, I mean, even when the Browns have a bye week, we're going to have to do a different team. But, yeah, make sure you subscribe, let us know what you'd like to see more podcasts of. If it's basketball, I'm not going to do baseball or any other sport because we don't know anything about that, besides the truth. Besides the fact that the Indians give up everything. But, yeah. Alright.
Just say, anyways, thanks for listening to The Rival.
Anyways, thanks for listening to The Rival with Sean and Mike, and stay tuned for some more.